Smart with the evening show. Very excited about tonight for very good reason, because the biggest band in the world right now, in my opinion, are in the studio. Most successful rock band, I've learned from the internet, from Nevada. 22 million record sales, which is pretty incredible. They're fresh from, I think fresh is the right word, from British Summertime at Hyde Park, and an amazing performance at Glastonbury as well. The greatest frontman of his generation, Mr. Brandon Flowers, and talk about the rhythm on the pots and pans. We've got Ronnie the Trouble Car Vanucci with us as well. Welcome aboard, boys. You deserve a little clap for that.
Thanks for having us.
How are you, boys? You all right?
Great.
Great to see you.
Good. You too.
Yeah, it's great. I don't know why I call you the Trouble Car. It's like,
I've never heard that. Have you ever heard that?
No. I like it though.
where I grew up in Scotland, we had quite a lot of Italian descendants, right? So if somebody said to me, Ronnie Vanucci's coming to see you, I'd be quite worried about it. The Trouble Car's coming to see you.
And run you over.
Exactly that. So, gents, I saw you at Glastonbury. What an incredible way to come back to Britain that was. How has it been since then?
Everything's been a little bit of a letdown.
It's a good battery charger.
Yeah.
Shows like that are fuel for us.
Yeah.
Powers the engines.
It was
powers the Trouble Car.
Because we turned up about an hour and a half before the gig, getting quite excited about it. And the closest I could get was just under the canopy of the tent. And I looked behind me and there was like another 10,000, 20,000 people.
Wow.
I mean, did you have any kind of idea of that kind of audience? Could you see that far out from where you were?
We really couldn't quite tell how far out it spread.
Yeah.
But we could feel it, and there was a great energy, and it was just an unbeatable 45 minutes for us.
Yeah, it was perfect set. It went down the treat, didn't it?
It was the first time I'd ever heard. It's the first time I couldn't hear the band.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm on in-ear monitors, so I'm effectively wearing headphones, and the voices were overpowering the band.
Yeah, what an amazing thing.
Crazy.
And then there's a beautiful picture I saw the other day that you posted in the pink jacket with the sun setting over London. Just an amazing moment. How did that feel for you boys, Because you played Hyde Park before, you've had amazing gigs, but that looked like another really special memory to cherish.
I don't remember it being, as fun as it was this time. Did they change where it was? Where it is in the grass? I don't know.
I think they changed the schematic.
The stage has improved or something, and it was and the crowd was incredible. I don't know. It was a good one.
Yeah, the neighbours get a little bit grumpy about the noise, don't they? Which is a shame, because I noticed you asked the fans which song you should play that night.
Oh,
so
yeah,
restricted in time.
Yeah, that's right. It's a very hard curfew. We had to be very cautious of that.
Do you get the fine personally if you go over the curfew?
I don't know. There's only been a couple times where we've gone over, where we've just said, all right, we're just gonna go with what we wanted to do.
Yeah,
and we've never had to.
Send the Trouble Car round. He'll sort it out. Send the Trouble Car. Right, we're going to play the latest single. It's an absolute belter of a track. We absolutely love it. It's outstanding. This is The Man by The Killers on Radio X. That was The Killers and The Man. What a brilliant new single that is. It's gone down wonderfully, hasn't it, boys? Brandon Flowers, Ronnie Vanucci still in the studio. You must be pleased with the reception it's had.
Yeah, I mean, you never know what's going to happen. We sort of got a lukewarm response to the last record, and so it's nice to, feel people are as excited about something as you are,
Yeah. So, I mean, we're all boys kind of of the 80s. I think, were you born in 76, Ronnie?
Yeah.
Were you, Brandon?
81.
81, right. So we're children of the 80s, and it's got all the great things about the 80s included in this song. I don't know if that's a deliberate thing you do, or it just happens to kind of pour out of you because of your upbringing. What do you think?
We were both raised in a very, on the radio. And so it's a very natural sort of outpouring.
Yeah. Brandon, there are two little things I absolutely love about it. Two little sound effects, tiny little touch. I'm going to play now. Let's have a little listen. There's a cash machine. And then the pop as well.
Yeah.
Were there any other sound effects in the mix for this, or was it just those two? You thought, we'll have that. And whose idea was it?
I'm going to take credit for those two ideas. I don't think I ever would have had, Pink Floyd did a pretty good job on Money with the cash machine. Has anybody brought that back since then? I don't know. Not that I could think of anyway. They gave us permission. Yeah, they gave us permission, I guess. Those people have done it before. It was playful, and that was how it felt in the studio. We haven't been like that with the song in a while. Sometimes you can, when you're in a band, you can take yourself a little bit too seriously.
Yeah.
And this song really brought some levity to the record. And
I did the... See, I
recognize it.
There we go.
Does that sound familiar?
We're going to clip that. I'm going to have that as my text message alert on my phone. It's the Trouble Car. Trouble Car. Right, boys. More from The Killers in just a second. Brandon Flowers and Ronnie Vanucci are going to stick around with us. This is the evening show on Radio X. I'm absolutely thrilled to say that the Killers are in the studio today, looking resplendent in their rock and roll attire. We had a little bit of a debate about whether you'd wear sunglasses in the studio, but I'm pleased to say you've got your feet still on the ground, not wearing sunglasses indoors. Pleased about that.
Yeah.
I lost mine.
It's the only other reason. It's the only reason. Right, gents, as I was saying, we're both, or all three of us, are children of the 80s, right? So I'm going to test your 80s credibility, see how much you really know about the 80s. And we're going to find out who really is the man in the Killers.
Okay.
So it's Brandon v. Ronnie, right? You up for this, Ronnie?
Oh, yeah.
It's a very simple game, right? You've got to listen to the song and tell me which film in the 80s it's from.
Oh, hell.
Right?
Okay.
See how you... So, Ronnie, you're going to go first.
This is Goonies.
Ah, straight away. Brandon knew that. He had that in the bag as well. What a film, by the way, wasn't it?
It's magic. It's a piece of magic.
I'm there right now. I'm in Astoria, right?
We went to Astoria where they filmed it on a day off.
No way.
And we took the bus to Astoria and we went around to the house.
Yeah.
The house and the jail where the Fratelli brothers locked. That's all still there.
The museum.
Yeah, and it was and then we watched Goonies that night.
Brandon, this is your chance to level the score, and are you ready for this? Don't look for help.
Is it ABBA?
What film?
Yeah, I don't know what film it is.
Is it Ronnie? You got a chance to
Sounds
steal
like
a point
ABBA.
here.
No, I don't recognize it.
This might not have been big in America.
It's the Gremlins.
I was just about to say
It's the
Gremlins.
Gremlins Hardlines, right? Okay, Ronnie, it's your turn again. Your turn again, Ronnie. You ready for this? Okay, this is quite a tricky one. I think quite a tricky one.
I haven't seen the Gremlins since I was 5.
Right, Ronnie. There's a real 80s vibe about this. He's feeling it. Has he got it? Brandon, you got it?
Got it. You got it?
Oh, look at that.
Against all odds?
No! Brandon, you got a chance to steal here.
I don't know it.
It's Top Gun.
Oh,
I
man.
thought you'd have got that, boys. I thought you got one more, right? Let's see if we can...
What song is that,
so
though?
bad right
That's the theme tune to Top Gun.
It's the theme tune.
Right, here we go. Right, Brandon, your turn.
All right, I know this one. This is Weird Science.
Yes! Congratulations, Brandon.
And can we talk about Oingo Boingo for a second?
What a band.
Jeez.
So underrated. They just sort of go under the radar
Yeah.
when you talk about all the great 80s music. And Danny Elfman is such a talent.
Yeah.
And there's so much more to them than Dead Man's Party and Weird Science. And whoever's listening, at least start with their greatest hit. It's called Best of Boingo. Yeah, and it's so good.
Yeah.
Best of Boingo. And it's, man.
John, we'll settle this. We'll have one more each, right? Let's just keep going with it, right? So it's back to you,
this
Ronnie.
is-
Back to you,
Okay.
Ronnie. And by the way, I've got faith in you with this one, because this is quite a big American movie, this one. Right, ready? Here we go.
Right, yeah.
It's like a Killer's B-side.
Okay.
You got it?
Yeah. It's Axel F.
Yes.
by Harold Faltermeyer,
Oh, yes.
Beverly Hills Cop.
Superb, that's superb. Now, Brandon, you have to score here to level it. Otherwise, Ronnie is officially
All right.
the man.
Axel Foley,
Axel
Eddie
F.
Murphy's character.
There he goes. Right, should know this. Fellow Scots. What film?
All right, I got this. Everybody knows Breakfast Club.
It's too easy. It's too easy, that.
We're both the man.
You're both the men? You're the men. You're the men.
We're the men.
More from Brandon Flowers and Ronnie Vucci. They are both the men. Right, here's the Killers now. Both of the men in action. This is Human. That was Human by the Killers on Radio X. You're listening to the evening show with me, Gordon Smart. Brandon Flowers and Ronnie the Trouble Car Vanucci are still in the studio. They're generously here to talk about your tour as well. So it went on sale last week. You don't really need to promote it, do you? Because so many people want to buy the tickets. So, you know, I don't know what more to say about it other than what an exciting thing having you back playing arenas. Why arenas, though, and not stadiums?
We like to start small.
I don't know. We're still growing and learning and we've played a couple stadiums, but I think right now we feel pretty comfortable in where we're at, and we'll see what happens in the future. But
Any suspicion they'll add any other dates in there?
I don't know.
One or two, maybe.
Yeah. I'm going to give you another one of those. Remember this monkey rubs and Chinese burns? Something I taught you last time.
Yeah, monkey. I know what Chinese burns are. What do we call them? Indian burns.
Maybe that's enough playground punishment talk for now. More from Brandon Flowers and Ronnie Vanucci in just a second. Smart, Brandon Flowers and Ronnie Vanucci are still in the studio. Now, boys, I'm writing a book called Slash Gordon, which is based on the most famous people I found myself standing beside at a urinal. I once stood beside Brandon Flowers at the Union Chapel in London. We made very awkward conversation, but the book was based on an encounter with Sean Connery. So the idea is, who was the most famous person Sean Connery stood beside at a urinal? And we carry it on.
That's cool.
So far, we've had amazing stuff like Jack Nicholson, Ewan Bremner, who was in Trainspotting the other day, said he had Dennis Rodman on one side and Lars from Metallica on the other. And Lars started reciting lines from a film to him, as he was having a visit. Come on, boys. You've been all over the world touring. You must have a great story for us.
So last time we were in Dallas, we were doing a warm-up show at the House of Blues, and there was like a function going on with a bunch of ex-NBA players. I really had to go to the bathroom, and I walk in at the same time Shaquille O'Neal walks in.
A big man.
And there were two urinals right next to each other, and it was me, and I felt like a 6-year-old next to this guy and him, and it was just so obvious that it was like big dude, me, and so I looked over at him and I said, nice watch.
Ronnie the Trouble Car. That's one of the best we've had. Did you have stage fright, or did you manage to carry on without any kind of pressure?
I had, maybe
No
a couple
problem.
drinks in me. No problem.
No problem. He's a drummer. Now, Brandon, come on. Regale us with a wonderful tale of celebrity in a urinal.
I have a decent one. I got a couple decent ones.
We've got time.
Okay, so our first time going to the NME Awards, it was we were sort of starstruck, and it was an incredible experience for us. So we were just happy to be there. Anyway, I'm in the bathroom, I'm at the urinal, and Bernard Sumner, who's one of my heroes, steps up next to me and starts singing "Somebody Told Me" in my ear. No way. And I hadn't thought about it until you guys just brought this up, but it was so surreal, And
Was it a good rendition?
it was decent, yeah. You can
Was it
carry
like
it too.
close and
It was just like, I didn't know. That is so out of this world to have that happen,
Well, did New Order not provide the name of the band?
Yeah, it was so, and it was incredible.
What a special moment that was. And why not play a little bit in New Order? Radio X, you're listening to The Evening Show with me, Gordon Smart. I've still got two massive New Order fans in the studio, actually, Brandon Flowers and Ronnie Vanucci. And Brandon was just telling us about bumping into Bernard Sumner at the NME Awards. And while we're on the subject of the NME Awards, Brandon, I think I'm due you a bit of an apology about that night. In 2003, I would say, just as the Killers were sort of venturing into the UK for the first time, I went to an event. There was this guy looking at me a bit funny, and he came across and said he was from the NME. And he said, "Are you Brandon Flowers?" And I went, "Yeah." Yeah. And I gave him an interview, pretending to be you.
Was it good?
Great. And it ran in the NME. And he said,
I probably still get asked about questions.
he said to me, I didn't realise that you were Scottish, Brandon. I went, yeah, well, I'm from Vegas, but I spent a lot of time in Scotland. So I was important from upbringing. I like golf. It all went in the NME, so I'm really sorry about that.
That's funny.
Brandon McFlowers and Ronnie the Trouble Carvanucci, it's such a pleasure having you in, boys. And listen, I know you don't need to come in and sell tickets anymore, so it's really grateful that you've come and spoken to us.
Cool.
We love you at Radio X. You're wonderful human beings. You handsome, handsome men. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks.